penis. Arsh, how's it going, man? How you doing? No, okay. There must be a... I'm thinking it's a vowel, like a O-T-O. Kami, how's it going, man? Wallflower, how's it going? Iluna, I don't think I've seen you here before. Thanks for popping by. How are you today? The f is this word? Louise me? Okay. Let's think. Okay, it's probably a vowel. U-T-O-S. Or maybe it's R. Update stream title. You already... Am I 246? Am I? Usually on Darius Live? Ah, I see. Thanks for popping by. Roust. Oh, shit. Let's go. That was close. That was close. I'm on 246, really? Are you sure about that? Listen, I'll take your word for it, but... I think you're fucking wrong. No, I'm just kidding. It's the stream title from last time. Okay. I think I agree with, who is it? I think I agree with Smokey. I think I'm gonna stick to Lord of the Mysteries 2 as the title instead of Circle of Inevitability. Because COI is just... I don't think it does great in YouTube analytics. Hoot. Hoot. Bon. Do. Buck. Hoot. No. Hoot. Squawk. Cluck. Scream. Fuck. Fight. Or flight. Response? No. Cackle. Cackle. Laugh. A hoot. A riot. Fuck. Riot, cackle, hoot. Hoot. Okay, so this is like a really fun time, okay? Fawn? Fawn over someone? Hoot, cackle. Cackle, squawk, laugh? Fuck. That was a good guess, Chris. That was a good guess. Fuck. The fuck are homophone? I feel like this... I've looked up this exact word before and I forgot. Two of each or more word having the same pronunciation but different meanings. Oh. Do. I see. Oh. Le squawk or excuse me? Phantom, I don't think I've seen you here before. Thanks for popping by. How you doing? Okay, Devil. Thanks for that, buddy. How's it going? Fuck you. Anyone here want to play chess? While I'm here? Oi. No, abort. I'm not fucking... Give me a minute. God damn it. Motherfucker. Let me get in the right headspace. Jesus. God. Russian me. Chess.com. They're preying on my downfall, I say. They don't want me to get to the acclaimed 1,000 elo. Minor missing, but yeah, I don't fucking think so, buddy. It's not a good sign for a stream when my fucking you idiot. HBO's Chris, they're cooking. So we have not seen episode 5, so no spoilers, please. But Devil, me, Romero, and Burnt are watching it together. We're gonna watch episode 5 tomorrow because Romero's busy today. I'm so I know it's gonna happen, but I'm still so excited for it. Don't say anything because Devil does not know. And no spoilers for episode 5 in general because I don't want to know anything more than I do. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. Here. If only I could think like this in-game, huh? Boop. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Mm-hmm. Mm. Fuck. I don't want to talk about it. Do I see what the better move in that position was, you ask? I do not know. I just know that was wrong. Yeah, Chris, if you're available tomorrow when we watch it, please join us. Wing closer so you take pawn after. Fuck. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we just watched the Red Wedding yesterday. Yeah. Unfortunately, most of the good writing is starting to come to an end. What time? It'll be probably 10 o'clock Eastern, maybe 8 o'clock Eastern. Probably 10 though, because I got to stream. Ray, how's it going, man? How you doing? Alright, okay, buddy, good for you. Fucking genius player there. 1,000 IQ. I say that, but I'm gonna fucking blunder my knight right back, so I'm not gonna shit on him too hard for it, you know. Do I push? Because if he pushes, but then if he pushes again, I just go back, so we're okay. Okay. If I push, then he can take. That's not okay. I'm gonna just take this and just yoink. Just you know, if you see something free to yoink, you yoink. Especially at this elo, because the chances of him laying out a trap like that are negative. Why don't I just bring my queen back really quickly? If he just brings it up, I just go up here. Really don't have anything to lose here. We're okay. Here. Yeah, of course he fucking sees it, the fucking dickhead. I think I take. I'm still winning by like a decent bit, and I'm not particularly concerned. If I take, then I really get fucked, because then I can never push his pawn, and then I can't just escape out. So this is gonna be okay. We're gonna move up here. Never trade your queen if you're attacking. I'm just up so much material, I don't really mind it, was my concern. Oh, now if he pushes... no, even if he pushes now, I'm still okay. Let me get my knight out. If I have the extra material, I should use it. Just gonna sit here. I think we'll find a way to still lose. Shut up, Harsh! It's supposed to be a surprise to new viewers. The whole point is that I throw. Shut up, God. Taking all the surprise away, you bitch. Now the threat is the double attack here. Now yoinkers up here. And okay, bro. Happy? You got it. King. Shit's about him tearing up. I know I'm that goated. Shh. Let it happen. I know I'm truly that goated. I'm aware. It's amazing. Please go up here to attack me. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. How did this turn into a losing position? It truly is a marvel, isn't it? I am capable of great things. I can just hide back here. We're okay. Not today, motherfucker. You ain't getting me today. I might get mated. This is unironically true. But I'm up a pawn. I'm up a minute of time. If I still lose, I would like genuinely be disappointed in my own abilities. If I push here, he takes, I take, but then that takes away a pawn from my defense. I think I still win this, but like, I should have won this a lot easier. This is fucking dumb. Use your 10 points of material. I have like I have a 1 point material advantage. Chill. Calm your ass down, bro. You ain't that guy. I really don't care. I just... Yay, get fucked, loser. Dude. The fact that that's what that situation came down to, me being down a pawn and winning on material. Dude. You want to know the really fucked up part? You actually, despite all that, when he did this, my initial instinct was still, for just a split moment, my initial instinct before just moving my rook away to just keep the rook, my initial instinct was still just to trade. And I was like, wait, no, that's an immediate lose, you fucking idiot. It's a draw, technically, but like, that might as well have been a lot. I was like, no, wait, hold on. And then he runs out of time. I die of, I lose of insufficient material. Oh, dude. That was really bad. It's okay, it's okay. We clutched up, though. Adam, did I win or did I win, bro? Give me my shit. Give me my shit. Ray, did I turn a losing position into a winning one? I fucking think so. Did I turn a winning position into a losing one? Also true. Also technically true. Dude, I gotta stop playing chess on stream. It's so bad for... 246. Yes, I did do speech. Yeah. I usually... Yeah, that was bad, dude. That was really bad. Like, as I was doing it, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, are you even fucking... Like, what are we doing here? The only reason I won that is literally just pure time management. And like, that's not what it should have come down to. I was just beating his ass. My problem is once I win, like, once I'm up like a minute and a half on time, I just go, fuck it, I just want to trade everything. I'll just win by sheer time. And that's like a really dumb way of going about it. It's like, no, I want to beat him positionally. I want to just beat him because I'm better. Like, nah, I'm just like, fuck it, it's just easier if I just move my shit in a giant fucking circle and he'll just lose on time. Calculating 10 steps behind exactly. As the first rays of dawn illuminated the room, Lumion slowly opened his eyes, awakened by the gentle chime of the bells from the cathedral. The previous night he had stayed at the motel. He raised his right hand to touch his head. His bald head had grown thick and healthy hair once more. Once leaving the comfort of his own bed, Lumion walked over to his full-length mirror and saw a reflection that looked both familiar and unfamiliar. Back in Cordu, his hair had never been dyed golden. But in the sunlight, he couldn't help but smile, feeling better than he had in a long time. At the very least, all that he did wasn't met with failure. Killing and taking revenge no longer posed a problem. Smokey, how's it going, man? Long time no see. After breakfast at a street vendor, Lumion planned to find a barber shop either in Quartier de l'Observatoire or Quartier de la Cathédrale Commémorative to revert his hair back to golden. But before he could set out, hurried footsteps approached his room. He braced himself, thinking someone may kick open the door, but instead there was a knock. It was Franca, who rarely rose so early. She couldn't help but hide her surprise upon seeing Lumion's black hair. You dyed it back? Sort of, Lumion replied, observing Franca as she entered his room. Did you kill Hugh Artois' assistant secretary? And did you rush to advance to Pyromaniac last night? Lumion stood up, smiling. Yes. You brat, you promised you'd hold back, but the next moment you just went ahead without hesitation? You really can't suppress your hatred even for a night, can you? If you keep going like this, I doubt you'll survive this year. No, this month. Actually, I didn't intend to kill Tybalt last night. I just wanted to see him, gather information, and plan. But an opportunity presented itself. It was too good to pass up. Right. I made preparations in all aspects, including measures against divination and tracking. Relieved, Franca asked. That Tybalt guy seemed weak. Was it easy for you to handle? He mainly transmitted disease through contact. The Pyromaniac happens to counter that ability. If not for my anti-divination and anti-spirit channeling preparations, I could have taken care of him in 10 seconds, Lumion recalled. Bug! How's it going, man? You got lucky, Franca sighed. Have you considered the possibility that your target may be much stronger? My initial judgment was that he wouldn't be too formidable, but if he exceeded a certain threshold, I was prepared to use my dirk, Lumion said. Why are you up so early? Martin woke me up, Franca said. He instructed me to gather all the leaders of the mob and find the person responsible for killing Hugh Artois' secretary. When I heard everything, I figured it had to be you. I told you last night to get in the right condition before drinking the potion, but you just did it. I believe I was in the perfect state to advance, so I swiftly concocted the potion. Will the boss suspect me? Not for now, Franca said. Besides yourself, nobody expected you to consume that potion last night. Moreover, you cunningly framed the Aurora Order. Gardner doesn't see any motive for you. Come here, I'll help you restore your original hair looks. It's best not to make any changes during a time like this. Alright, Lumion said, delighted to save some money. In the morning, the ward buzzed with more activity compared to the somberness of night. Echoing through the air were the cries of those being carried back, the presence of relatives escorting loved ones back home, and the determination of some patients who defied the cries, choosing to depart from the hospital's confines. Jenna and Elodie, who had regained consciousness, observed the scene once more. They understood the painful reality unfolding before them. Not everyone could bear the weight of insurmountable medical expenses, nor did they wish to drag their family into the depths of despair. Sometimes the patient surrendered while the family persisted. Other times it was the family that gave up, leaving the patient no choice but to come to terms. At times, patient and family would tacitly leave the ward, exchange silent glances, and be unable to hold back their tears as they wailed. After a moment, as the ward regained a semblance of tranquility, Elodie, who managed to sit up, whispered, "How long will I have to stay here?" Jenna pondered for a moment before deciding to tell her mother the truth. It was impossible to conceal. The doctor's round treatments and further examination would inevitably reveal some information. Besides, Elodie would piece it together based on the fact she hadn't been discharged after several days. The doctor said you'll be here for months, possibly even 6. Your external injuries aren't bad, but your body has suffered significant damage. Unless you make a full recovery, your condition may worsen. I've already secured the fundings for your treatment. I borrowed the money from Franca. There is no shortage of resources. She promised Julian and me that we could repay it in 2 or 3 years in installments. By then, Dad's accident compensation will be paid. Why will it take so long? Elodie said. With such a massive explosion in the chemical gases, it's a miracle you survived. What exactly happened back there? Jenna asked. I don't know. Okay, I realized that I hadn't been doing this before. Is there anyone I can do like a voice of? I can do Elodie, but then I actually like her, so I don't want to give her a silly ass bitch voice. I will if I have to, but that's not my first choice. Kami, shut up. I'm giving the people what they want. You're not the people in this scenario, but... I think it originated near the metal tank. Many of the factory's facilities are old and prone to breakdown. They require repairs, but they refuse to invest. Alright, hold on. You'll understand after the stream? Maybe other... Oh, you're saying... Oh, sorry. Kami, I thought you were saying no to the voice. I didn't know you were saying it just for Elodie. Like I said, I don't want to do it to her because I like her. Oh, don't tell me she's gonna fucking die. Will Ossepton walked into the room. As soon as Elodie witnessed Jenna's departure from the ward, she mustered all her strength, disconnected the IV, I hated the voice thing altogether, and leaned against the wall for support, gasping for air. She took 2 steps diagonally opposite, where the doctors and nurses meticulously examined each injured individual. How long will my treatment be? Elodie asked. We don't have all the results yet, the doctor leafed through his records, but we estimate 5 to 7 months. What will be the cost of treatment? Elodie asked. Let's wait for the complete assessment. If all goes well, it should amount to 200 Vrildor per week. As the treatment progresses, the cost will decrease. However, if your condition isn't favorable, it may range from 300 to 400 Vrildor per week. Moreover, even after you leave the hospital, you must prioritize rest. Elodie found herself rendered speechless. Shortly before noon, Julian rushed into the ward, concerned for his mother. After conversing with him for a while, Jenna announced, I'll go to the hospital cafeteria and get some food. I'm so glad she left. Uth, you say that, bro, but the way Kami responded makes me think she's gonna die. I don't know. Kami, I don't know. I think you spoiled it. If she dies in the next 5 chapters, I don't know what I'm going to do to Kami. He kind of does have a stranglehold on the music portion, so his position is kind of very secure. I don't know what I can do to him, but it'll be bad. With that, she departed. Thanks to Lumien's guidance, Jenna had come to realize that she possessed extraordinary abilities. She was no longer a normal individual. With a willingness to take risks, she had numerous avenues to make money. Consequently, the expenses for her mother's treatment and the overwhelming debt held no power over her anymore. In the ward, Elodie looked at Julian and said, You're nearly 23, aren't you? That's right, Julian replied. I've been a provider for the family for quite some time now, but in your eyes, I'm still a child. That is because my criteria for true adulthood is different from others. I've always believed that one can be considered to be an adult when they possess a skill that earns them money consistently. You're still a while from that, and Celia still has 1.5 years. You've endured so much. It was you who has endured. Before I could truly assist you, you worked 3 jobs a day for a whole year, 6 a.m. to midnight. We will cure you, he said. Elodie chuckled in delight. Unfortunately, my wig is gone. And your sister, she deceived us, claiming that the theater required her to dye her hair. In reality, it was to prevent herself from being recognized when she went to sing at the dance hall. I don't know what to do with her. I don't want you to shoulder more debt. It will waste years, and by then, you will no longer be young. Julian swiftly consoled his mother, assuring her that he excelled at his job and would undoubtedly receive a salary next year. After rambling for a few minutes, Elodie clutched her chest and said, I'm not feeling well. Get a doctor. She's gonna kill herself. She's gonna kill herself. I just fucking know it. She's gonna kill herself. I just know it. I'm calling it. Okay, Julian stood up and dashed out the room. Elodie promptly removed the IV needles and stumbled toward the ward's window, relying on the nearby beds for support. Meanwhile, on the first floor of the Holy Palace Hospital, Jenna emerged from the cafeteria, carrying a wooden lunchbox, and began her journey up the stairs. Suddenly, from the corner of her eye, she witnessed a figure hurtling down. Resulting in a resounding thud. Jenna's heart skipped a beat, her mind filled with unease. She turned around and raced, uncertain about the source of her apprehension. She dashed out of the hall and approached the spot where the person had jumped, maneuvering through the crowd. In an instant, she beheld a crimson liquid seeping, and a familiar face adorned with delicate wrinkles. A lifeless body that belonged to her mother, Elodie. The person who had leapt from the building was none other than her mother. Why did I kill Jenna? I don't know. You think my fucking secret name is Cuttlefish? Fucking cry to him about it, you guys. The fact that you guys don't have reading comprehension skills is not on me, bro. It was obvious she was there, and she was she was like, I don't want to put this on my children. I don't want my children to suffer because of me. I'm sorry. It's like basic reading comprehension. I'm done with COI. Ooh, bro, it was obvious. She was there. She was like, you're getting older. I don't want you to have to support me. Come on. In the cafe on the second floor of the Salle de Balbrie, Lumion finished his lunch and caught sight of Franca once more. This time, her countenance was grave, causing an unease to settle upon Louis, Sarkota, and the others, fearing that trouble may accompany her. Franca exhaled and slowly spoke. Jenna's mother passed away. Lumion was taken aback as he had witnessed Flameng's lifeless body dangling from the window frame. What, was it due to her declining condition, he asked? No. It was suicide. Observing Lumion's perplexed expression, she sighed and elaborated. Last night, when I sought out Jenna, I worried that she may end up a brave facade and keep her difficulties concealed, or seek out assistance. Luvion, how's it going? I made a point to make the attending physician and the nurses responsible for her care. I treated them to coffee and dessert, urging them to keep a close eye on her. arranged for them to notify me in case of any complications. They informed me that upon learning of the months-long treatment and its approximate cost, she took advantage of Jenna's visit to the cafeteria in Julian's sudden absence and leapt from the 6th floor. Alas, her health was already frail, and she perished instantly. Lumion fell into a pensive silence, pressed his chest, and sneered. Is this fate? At 1 p.m., Lumion and Franca arrived at the hospital. The nurse, whom Franca had deliberately friended, guided them to the sanctuary, the place known as the Farewell Sanctuary, where the departed awaited their purification. Julian, Jenna's brother, sat by the door, his head in his hand. Approaching him, Franca asked, "Are Auntie and Jenna inside?" "I shouldn't have left her alone in the ward," Julian said. "I shouldn't have left her alone." Franca didn't know how to console him. All she could do was sigh and enter the sanctuary alongside him. Elodie's body lay on a bed covered with a white sheet, concealed beneath a plain white cloth. The blood on her body had been cleaned, and her face appeared pallid. Jenna sat on a stool across from her mother, her gaze empty and her voice absent. Franca called out, a mix of pain and concern in her tone, but Jenna ignored her, as if encased herself in another realm. Lumion pulled out a chair and seated next to Jenna, his gaze also fixed upon her mother. After a few seconds, she spoke. "I know what you're going through. Not long ago, I too lost a family member who meant the most to me. But you need to know who is responsible for this. Is it your fault? Is it your mother's? Your brother's? No. You did nothing wrong. Faced with accidents and debts, you chose to endure. You chose to rely on your own labor and suffer to secure a new life. It took you years to emerge from it. Is that wrong? No. This time you didn't abandon your loved ones. You fought hard to find a solution. Is that wrong? No. You didn't hide anything from your mother. You informed her of the duration of the treatment, the costs, and the source of the funding. Is that wrong? No. Your mother loves you and she wants you to avoid reliving the painful past few years. She wishes for you to walk in the light, not in the darkness. Is that wrong? No. So who is at fault? The factory owner who continuously appeals and delays the compensation for the accident, subjecting you to years of painful, oppressive existence. It is the laws that protect them. It is Bono Goodville who disregards safety regulations and fails to replace worn-out equipment. It is the exorbitant cost of treatment that plunges the disfortunate into despair. It is the National Convention and the government who have caused this. Damn, the socialism is strong with this one. Goddamn. Communism? Jenna's expression finally shifted, a glimmer of pain surfacing in her eyes. I have something to... Lumion turned towards the door. I have something else to say. Perhaps the explosion, which led to your mother's tragic demise, was not an accident. Jenna's face instinctively turned to Lumion and Franco. Perhaps it was a murder, a sacrifice to a deity. Our honorable member of parliament, Hugh Artois, has been assessed by the blessed of the powerful evil gods as an open-minded individual surrounded by heretics, including Thibault Jacques, who was the secretary responsible for spreading disease and taking innocent lives. Yesterday morning, Bono Goodville paid a visit to the Parliament member's office, and by evening, the plant had exploded. When I encountered Thibault in the guise of Bono Goodville, he mentioned something about unavoidable troubles following the organization's decay. It has convinced me that the chemical plant explosion was something they anticipated. It must have been orchestrated for a specific purpose. Are you consumed by anger? Do you feel a burning hatred? Can you accept this? Can you accept this? Wasn't this the whole thing with Klein in Volume 5? Where he goes to kill the king? And he says, like, no, I can't accept this. Do you wish to sit here and watch as the murderers responsible for your mother's death and the destruction of your happiness revel in champagne, indulge in dance parties, and inflict even more heartbreak on innocents? Jenna's expression twisted as if grappled with conflicting emotions. But my mother, she can't be brought back. As Jenna wept, Franca offered her guidance. What your mother desires most is both for you and your brother to be free from the burdens of debt and to embark on a fresh life. She wishes for one of you to become a remarkable stage actress while the other escapes the constraints of ordinary labor and masters a skill. She yearns for you to live well. Can you bear to disappoint her? Jenna sobbed and asked, but isn't it said that the night will pass and light will emerge? Why is it so dark always? Why can't I see any light? It will come. It will come, Franca repeated, patting Jenna's back. What you must do now is give your mother a proper burial and consider doing something meaningful in her honor. Okay. Jenna wept until exhaustion overtook her, finding stability within her emotions finally, and at that moment a clergyman from the EBS church arrived. Clad in a white robe adorned with intricate gold threads, he entered the room alongside Julian and positioned himself beside Elodie's body. In one hand he grasped a holy Bible and recited a prayer, and in the other held a bottle of holy water. Eventually, a beam of sunlight accompanied by the holy water materialized from thin air and bathed Elodie. Praise the sun. May this sister find peace and enter the realm of God, the clergyman said. Praise the sun, Jenna and Julian said. Observing the ceremony, Lumion bowed his head and scoffed. Franca, a devout believer of the god of steam and machinery, refrained from praising the sun as well. With the purification ritual ended, the priest departed from the sanctuary, and in his place an administrator in charge of the Holy Palace Hospital morgue entered. Shall we proceed with burial or cremation for the sister, he asked. Shall we send her to the catacombs? To the cemetery? Or to one of these cemeteries? Cremation, Jenna and Julian said. We'll personally escort her to the catacombs. The father also rested there. There have been numerous casualties from last night, the administrator said. The crematorium won't be available until next week. Would you like this sister to remain in the morgue for the time being? Very well, Jenna said. And so the four of them watched as Elodie's visage was veiled with a white cloth and her body was gently guided out of the farewell sanctuary. They trailed behind the wheeled bed, descending through the steam-powered elevator in the subterranean realm until they arrived outside the morgue. The morgue door gleamed in a silvery grey hue, while the interior emanated an eerie coldness, producing a misty white fog at the intersection. Jenna stood in a daze as her mother, Elodie, was propelled through the door, vanishing into the frigid chamber filled with metallic cabinets illuminated by gas-powered lamps. She remained fixated as the door shut slowly. Unconsciously, she took a few steps forward, halting at the threshold. Silently, the door closed. Her mother was now forever beyond her sight. Booth, what did I do to you? Adam, how's it going, man? I'm not gonna lie to you. There are good parts, but there's been a lot I've had to fucking slog through, dude. Adam, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there've been a lot of parts where I'm just trying to fucking chewing through a really fucking well done steak. You're like, It's okay, we're making our way through. As they returned to the Passy Bridge in La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen, Jenna's eyes fixed on her brother, who walked ahead with a heavy heart. Sorrow engulfed her as the bright afternoon sun blinded her. Franca averted her gaze from Julian's form and contemplated finding a task to occupy Jenna's mind. Your brother is emotionally distressed. It seems he blames himself. Offer him guidance in the upcoming days and assure him that it wasn't his fault. Any ordinary person would have hurriedly sought a doctor. Jenna momentarily snapped out of her sorrow and tersely acknowledged, I'll counsel him. But what if it doesn't work? When the time comes, I can assist him in finding a genuine psychiatrist. Franca nodded. Thank you. Thank you both, Jenna said. You must also attend to your own well-being, Lumion said, drawing from his own experience. Jenna pressed her lips together and nodded. Tonight, I intend to pay Bono Goodville a visit. Booth, you know what might cheer you up, buddy? That's the Bane of Volume 2, maybe. Ah, man, Volume 2, like, a lot of it was actually a fucking slog to get through. What? Supporting your favorite streamer! Yeah, okay. Shameless plug, sue me. Can I change music now, Kami? He's not here, I'm gonna... Soon? Fuck, okay. In Quartier de Thermes, at 55 Rue Chestnut, stood a 3-story building tinged in grayish-blue hue, boasting a delightful garden, a well-kept lawn, and even stables. I said to improve your mood, Uth. God. Within the establishment, a band played a melodic tune from the corner. Bono Goodville, the owner of this fine establishment, gracefully navigated through the guests with a glass of champagne in his hand, engaging in conversation about the aftermath of the chemical plant explosion, cunningly aiming to avoid his responsibilities while securing a substantial compensation from the insurance company. Like a natural social butterfly, he effortlessly fitted from one person to another, exhibiting wit and vigor amidst the elegant setting. The light from the chandelier illuminated his dark blue eyes and thick brown beard. As he gracefully maneuvered around the unassuming guests, Bono Goodville unexpectedly encountered Travis Everett, the superintendent of La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen. If I was Sal, I would have gotten you. Ping him. And was not in uniform that evening. Clad in a sleek black suit paired in a stylish blue bow tie, he held a glass of light, golden champagne in his hand. Superintendent, it is Everett. It is imperative that you ensure watching... Okay. It is imperative that you ensure my protection through this trying time, Bono said. The explosion claimed many lives, and I fear their bereaved relatives might resort to drastic measures. I'm not... okay. Everett adjusted his black frame glasses and smiled. You see, the Quartier de Thermus falls beyond my jurisdiction. Moreover, once I stepped onto the street, it became evident that the frequency and intensity of police patrols have notably increased. See what I gotta deal with? Bro, what? What did I do? How did me not streaming result in you having to watch gay TikToks, whatever that even means? Indeed, but didn't you hire numerous bodyguards? What is there to worry about? Those who perished were ordinary workers. They pose no threat to you. Furthermore, they are unaware of your place of residence, Everett jokingly remarked. But if the injured and their families discover that you continue to host lavish banquets, serving fine wine while being serenaded by a small accompanying symphony, it may drive them mad. They could drag you and your family to the depths of despair. Bono sheepishly smiled and said the banquet is unrelated to compensation. I must adhere to the law and await judgment. Superintendent, if I were to return to the market district to handle such things, I must humbly request your assistance in assigning 2 or 3 police officers to protect me. That is my duty, Everett said, but I must remind you that several police officers' families are employed in your chemical plant. Implicitly emphasizing the urgency of compensating his subordinates. Bono nodded. The banquet continued into the early hours of the morning. Amidst the lingering fragrance, Bono bid farewell to his 3 children, embracing each before ascending to the 3rd floor. Untying his bow tie, he entered his bedroom with his wife, ready to retire for the night. With a flick, the gas wall lamp ignited, casting a soft glow that reflected in Bono Goodville's wide eyes. Tell me, what am I putting on? Thank you. There, in his cherished recliner, sat an unexpected guest. Although seated, the man leaned forward, exuding an air of superiority that made Bono feel small and insignificant. Clad in a worker's uniform of muted greyish-blue, complete with his dark blue cap, Lumion, his face concealed behind swaths of white bandages, leaving only his piercing blue eyes and a glimpse of his nostril visible. Bono's heart raced, his instinct urging him to scream. But before he could even make a sound, a phantom like crimson flaming raven materialized behind the surprise visitor. With a swift swoop, it crashed into Bono Goodville's teeth. A soft bang resonated in his mouth as it seared with pain, and 2 teeth clattered to the ground. At that moment, a pair of daggers pressed against the back of both Bono Goodville and his wife. Emerging from the shadows of the doorway, Franca and Jenna closed the bedroom behind them, effectively trapping their captives. One of them donned a black robe with a concealed hood and leather armor, her face concealed by darkness. The other sported a man's linen shirt, a brown jacket, dark brown trousers, and a laceless leather boot. A silver-white metal mask adorned her upper face, leaving only her eyes exposed. Franca used her free arm to steady Bono Goodville, preventing him from collapsing in agony. Maintaining his posture, Lumion grinned. Monsieur Goodville, consider that a warning. It could have been much worse. 2 missing teeth and minor injuries are nothing compared to what could have transpired. Bono's wife snapped out of a daze. Who are you? What do you want? Who am I? Lumion chuckled. You may consider me your father. What the fuck? What am I reading? Yo, mama! With a With a glance towards Franca, she retrieved the truth serum Lumion had provided earlier and administered it to Bono Goodville. Lumion waited as the serum's effects took place. Monsieur Goodville, I had hoped for a more challenging encounter. Yet here we are, having a pleasant conversation. You disappoint me. You hadn't even received a boon. What, what do you want? I have quite a sum in my safe. I can give it to you, Bono said. Jenna's anger flared up, surging from her chest to her hand. In a sudden motion, she raised her left foot and kicked Bono Goodville's calf. Oh, how she'd longed to strike him where it hurt, but circumstances prevented her from doing so. Take your fucking money to the grave. Bono's body leaned, and the sound of bones cracking reached his ears. Before his instinctual scream could escape, frost materialized, sealing his lips. I want to know why you orchestrated the detonation at your own plant. How did you know? Before he could even finish, he wished to raise his right hand and slap himself. Shouldn't he at least try to deny it? Why is he uttering his thoughts so carelessly? Very well, you were quite forthcoming. I was merely testing you, and you readily confessed, Lumen remarked. Jenna felt as if her soul had vacated her body. Although Lumen's analysis had mentally prepared her, hearing the admission still left her in disbelief. Could there truly exist such a wicked human? Hundreds of families were devastated. Snapping out of her stupor, Jenna clenched her teeth tightly, fearing that any relaxation may ignite her anger, prompting her to stab Bono. No, it would be hundreds of stabs. Sal, how's it going, man? Sorry, I'm quite locked in. Goodville's wife also stared at her husband in a state of shock and fear. She had believed the explosion at the chemical plant to be a mere accident. Why did you do it? Does it have any connection to someone within Hugh Artois' office? Upon hearing this question, thanks, Sal. I assume on coffee? 'Cause I didn't see any. I'm assuming on coffee because I didn't see. What the fuck is coffee not working now? This shit is so cringe. Is that what's happening? Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. Thanks, Sal. Love you, buddy. That's it's not working. Okay, I got a safety. Okay, bye, Sal. Have a good day at work, buddy. Alright, tune in. Sal. Hopefully. Alright, I'll see you soon. Upon hearing the latter inquiry, Bono could not help but contain his astonishment. After consuming the peculiar liquid and confessing to orchestrating the chemical plant explosion, Bono's psychological defenses crumbled. In that moment, an overwhelming urge consumed him to drag someone down with him to share the burden of his sins. It's Ryan and Tibble. They are secretary and assistant secretary to Hugh Artois. They've been dropping hints that the plant has been deteriorating for years and it could explode at any moment. I thought I might as well find a way to cash in on the insurance compensation I purchased, and when the time came, Hugh Artois could use the excuse of setting up a factory to boost the economy and protect the interests of the factory owners. They kept saying that everything decays. My plant was no exception, so I anticipated many problems. Instead of waiting for it to explode, I just did it. I visited them yesterday morning, and for some reason, I was convinced by their words. When the explosion happened, I got scared. and went to the office again. They told me everything would be okay. What a fucking idiot. He's not even a heretic? Good powers have influenced him? Tybalt also mentioned decay when he saw me disguised as Bono. What is their agenda? Lumion pondered for a moment, about to inquire further, when the sound of a doorbell suddenly being pulled resonated. Lumion and Frank exchanged glances, both coming up with a guess. At such an hour, it could only either be a friend or an investigator seeking Goodville. Without uttering a word, Lumion rose to his feet, and Franca sheathed her dagger. Jenna reacted instantly, comprehending their intentions. Taking a step diagonally, she raised her dagger high and thrust it into Bono's shoulder. Blood spurted out, and Bono let out a painful grunt. Jenna didn't linger. She dashed forward towards the window opposite the main entrance. On her dagger, black flames ignited swiftly, extinguishing in several spots within the room. The trio leapt out of the building and vaulted over the iron fence, vanishing into the encompassing night. Inside the bedroom, a three-person team consisting of Angolme, Valentine, and a mixed-blood Immer confronted Bono Goodville. "Officer, I was nearly abducted." Angolme surveyed the area and smiled. "We will investigate that later. For now, the primary problem is you." "Me?" "Let us first confirm your faith before delving into your visit to the Member of Parliament's office on the morning of the planned explosion. With enough evidence to take drastic measures against the Member of Parliament and his staff, the Purifiers redirected their investigation towards Bono Goodville. Upon hearing this, Bono's psychological defenses shattered, and he paled in apprehension." Thank you, Kami. Let's go! Bro, he didn't even do all that for supernatural powers. He's like a millionaire and he did it for more money. That's so cringe. Like, listen, if you're like super rich and you're like, no, but I have the ability to fucking become fucking Superman. Okay, listen, you still did a bad thing, but like, I at least get the fucking logic. This guy's like, oh, I'm worth 1.3 million, and if I kill 40 people, I'll be worth 1.7. The f did that change, bro? Like, genuinely, what the f changed about your life that you're like, oh, yes, 40 people dead, worth it? What? Like, if you do a bad thing, but you're like, hey, I have like a really, like, they promised me the fucking moon, and you're like, listen, you're still a fucking piece of shit, you should still go to jail, but like, I get it. But like, this guy, well, he did it for the insurance money. The fuck are you on about, bro? Loophole in the contract. Whoa. Observing Bono Goodville's reaction, Angolme's confidence grew. With a swift motion, he withdrew a pen and paper, preparing to draft a notary certification. The concept behind it was to make Bono Goodville swear an oath to a deity, ensuring his honesty. As Angolme affixed his signature, the paper emitted a radiant golden glow. Bono Goodville swallowed nervously, feeling the weight of the situation. In recent years, as an unknown factory owner and trigger, he had encountered mysticism knowledge and extraordinary powers that surpassed the imagination of an ordinary folk. Amon's just... Isn't Amon like walking the cosmos or some shit? I really have a strong feeling Amon is gonna come back as like a friend... as like a friend to the Lord of Mysteries and like God Almighty. Because I feel like they're gonna have to basically put aside their differences to try to fight the outer gods. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. And at that point, Amon's gonna come by. He's gonna be like, "All right, let me show you some shit." All right, he's like, "Listen, you may have my powers, Klein, but you don't have nearly my fucking imagination." Like, again, even when fucking Amon was a sequence 1. All the fucking gods were like, we gotta keep an eye on that motherfucker. He's annoying. With each stroke, a flash of golden light emanated from his penmanship. Which deity do you believe in? Ongome asked. The god of steam and machinery, Bono replied. Why did you visit the Member of Parliament's office on the morning of the chemical plant explosion? Escaping into the cosmos isn't really... No, Uth, I feel like it was all but said. Am I making this up? No, someone confirm or deny? I feel like it was said, no, that, like, Amon went to visit the... Because, like, didn't Adam tell him, like, hey, if you lose, you're gonna have to go and just walk around the cosmos or some shit? Like, am I making this up? I feel like I remember this quite distinctly. Am I a silly guy? I'm just making this up? Oh, Kami, that's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why did you visit the Member of Parliament's office on the morning of the plant explosion? And Bono hesitated for 2 seconds, fearful of the powers and the divine witnesses. He repeated what he had divulged to Lumion and the others. Just kind of an oxymoron. Maybe? But I think it's more like to understand... The Great Ones are all camping there around the planet, so he was also at his weakest, so he could be dead. Oh, nah. Amon getting off-screened? That's your fucking theory, Uth? Come on, bro. You gotta think harder than that. You think they off-screened a guy they put that much effort into? Come on. No. When the inquiry concluded, Ongome delivered the verdict to Bono. You are being arrested for arson, deliberate detonation, and murder. Your assets will be temporarily frozen pending compensation for the deceased and injured. Bono's face drained of color. Valentine took a few steps forward and said, Deacon, after we bring this blasphemous scoundrel to the police headquarters, shall we formally apprehend Hugh Artois' secretary? Not yet, Ongome said. That or got corrupted by M-God and made pregnant? Nah. No, trust. M-God's gonna try to make him pregnant and he goes, uh-oh, there was an error and you actually got that guy pregnant and there was another error. I was actually in another part of the galaxy. Get cooked. And he's just gone. Like, he can't... No, Amon's understanding of his pathway is just fucking... amazing, because again, his you can say like, okay, he's way weaker than he used to be, that's fine, but his understanding of his pathway is so innate because he was born with it, right? Like, I don't even think it would matter. I'm not okay, the making a fucking Great Old One pregnant is obviously a fucking joke. But, like, I still feel like he would be enough of a hassle that even Great Old Ones would be like, listen, we could kill him, but, like, to chase him down is just kind of, it's not, because, like, why would they bother, you know? Like, oh, I'm gonna get the fucking sequence too. Why? Did you not notice? Ryan and Tybalt were exceedingly cautious. They never explicitly suggested Bono instigated the chemical explosion at the plant that is the explosion at his plant. They merely insinuated their support for his policies and preached philosophies of decay. They might exploit his mind. It has been nearly 2 days, and finding any traces of Goodville being influenced by supernatural powers will be almost impossible. And we lack sufficient evidence to apprehend Secretary Ryan and employ beyond our powers in the interrogation. We can only summon and question him through conventional manners. But simply, we lack sufficient evidence. Valentine seethed in anger but realized the gravity of their situation. He harbored an unwavering certainty that something was awry with the Member of Parliament's secretary. After a brief pause, he glanced at Bono Goodville, sprawled on the recliner like a heap of decaying meat, and spoke. "I suggest we deliver him to the stake." "Let us proceed," Angome nodded. "Take this man to the market district where he deserves to meet his end in 10 different ways." "Deacon, are we going to track down the Beyonders who infiltrated this place?" "Why would we?" The 3 Beyonders who infiltrated this place without pillaging or harming anyone merely sought information about the chemical plant and the visit to the Member of Parliament's office. It is obvious they possess a genuine interest in Secretary Ryan and Artois. I even wonder if they truly are from the Aurora Order, and if one of them is who killed Tybalt. I do, Kami. Sue me, bro. Oh, you wanna fucking sit here and power scale, motherfucker? Get the fuck out of here. Since we are barred from thoroughly investigating the Member of Parliament's office due to contracts, why not allow untamed Beyonders to do so? Wouldn't that pose a problem, Valentine said. Of course not. When dealing with cunning individuals adept at exploiting regulations, we must be even more cunning and find loopholes. If need be, we collaborate with secret organizations. The contract we hold with Member of Parliament and high-ranking officials only limits certain actions. They don't prohibit us from harboring ill intentions or cultivating informants. Such contracts do not constrain the actions of untamed Beyonders. Likewise, these contracts mainly serve as restrictions. They don't compel us to do certain things. Sometimes we can observe events unfold without transgressing the contract while handling things in the usual manner. Valentine, even beneath the sun, shadows abound. Consider everyone's shadows. For instance, you must learn to coexist with them. At times you must eliminate them, and at others utilize them to extol the sun. Valentine praised his collaboration. Praise the sun. I did not craft these words ever since Emperor Rosel's demise. The 2 churches, Parliament, the government, and the military have been embroiled in conflict. Each has amassed considerable combat experience that would not be deemed above board in any context. So why do you think I silently permit the presence of wild Beyonders amidst the mob? Do you think it based solely on reassurances and rhetoric? No. I merely know they may prove useful at a certain time. Of course, it is everyone's responsibility to tolerate the convergence of heretics into a large mob. I am no exception. There are disadvantages to everything. During their journey from Underground Trier to the Market District, Lumion, having removed his bandages, cast a glance at Jenna. I thought you dispatched Bono on the spot, subjugating to an unforgettable torment. Who would have guessed you'd merely stab him in the shoulder? If he dies now, the legal process for the compensation will drag for even more years. Though she no longer cared, many people still waited for justice. Fear not, Franca said. Bono will undoubtedly face the death penalty. The only question is the means. Besides, we have left clues for the official Beyonders. Just as we shield Hugh, we must always assist in eliminating hidden dangers. That's the Member of Parliament we elected, Jenna said. His secretary and assistant greeted us with an enormous explosion intentionally. Are you afraid? Lumion said. Jenna fell silent. I've never relished the benefits of Intest, nor have I cast a vote. Should I encounter a similar situation, I would not spare the Member of Parliament secretary, or even the fucking president. My sister once said that blood alone can repay for blood. I care not for the identity of the bleeding individual. My mother always used to tell me to be kind and embrace forgiveness. I cannot allow suffering and hatred to dictate my life, Jenna said. But I despise it so much. If you eliminate all your enemies, your life shall not be governed by hatred, Lumion smiled. At the very least, I shall not let Secretary Rhine off the hook, Jenna said. Very good. Maintain this resolve, Franca said. Of course, revenge cannot be blind or impulsive. You must wait until you are strong and seize the opportune moment, or you shall only bring more harm to your friends and family. Okay. At night, Jenna, clad in her usual attire, returned home. This place was situated near Rue Saint-Hilaire in the Market District and the multitude of factories south of Quartier des Jardins Botaniques. Previously, Jenna's family opted to rent this place for the convenience of Elodie and Julian's work. Music? What music? Please don't put on some more depressing shit. Back to previous one? Upon opening the door, Jenna was greeted by the sight of her brother. Not previous one? Oh, wait. Sealed vessel? The previous Oh, is Julian gonna kill himself too? Stop. Booth, if Julian kills himself, I don't know, bro. I just want you to remember that Elodie and Julian could have lived for longer, Uth. This is on you, okay? They could have lived for longer, but you did this. I want you to know that. Upon opening the door, Jenna was greeted by the sight of her brother, crouched by the window, his head buried in his hands. Heart sank. Julian, what's the matter? Don't fire me. Don't fire me. My mother passed away. She did. That's why I didn't come to work. Please, don't fire me. Mom, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have left you. It's on me. Julian broke into tears, resembling a frightening child. It seemed as though he had lost his sanity. Jenna stood in the darkness in the doorway, gazing blankly at her brother. It felt as though she was slowly descending into an unfathomable abyss. All right, over under one death in this half a death in this chapter. Circle of depression, true. Julian's sobs reverberated through the room, bathed in the glow of the moon. Jenna stood hesitantly by the door. Fear gripped her. Fear that stepping inside would confirm this as reality and not some dreadful nightmare. After a while, Jenna shut her eyes and clenched her teeth as she entered the room. Hunching down beside her brother, she let him cry, not daring touch him. We don't have that much debt to settle. Even if we lose our jobs, we can find new ones. There's no rush. We have a solid foundation. There'll be plenty who would be glad to take you in. Mom wanted us to live better lives, not wallow in shame and self-blame. Jenna repeated those words over and over and over again, until Julian, his spirit shattered, his body exhausted, slumped against the wall, drifting to sleep. Watching her brother's face relax, his fear and anguish ebbing away, Jenna silently sighed, tears welling up in her eyes and streaming down her cheeks. After shedding silent tears for a time, she rose to her feet and made her way to Julian's bed. She gathered the blanket and draped it over her brother, leaning against the wall. Having done all this, she trudged wearily back to the other room. It was her and her mother's room. Jenna lay down, her eyes vacantly fixed on the ceiling, her mother's words echoing in her mind, but she couldn't convince herself. Perhaps aside from a fortunate few, darkness was the dominant theme in life. Light was but an occasional adornment. Abruptly, Jenna seized her mother's pillow and pressed it against her face, her body trembling with sobs. Why? Why is darkness so overpowering, devoid of light? Will the sun ever rise? At some point, Jenna succumbed to a deep slumber. She was startled awake by some commotion outside. She sat up, rubbed her eyes, and hastened out the room. The sight that greeted her was Julian slicing bread, no longer wearing the devastation of the previous night. Why are you up so early? I didn't have any dinner. I got hungry. Just wait a little bit. The toast will be ready. Observing her brother, she couldn't help but ease her worry. Jenna couldn't ease her worry. If Julian were still in the midst of a mental breakdown, weeping as he did, he might still be uncomfortable. But she wouldn't be afraid. She would compel her brother to meet Franca and her psychiatrist friend. But now, she didn't know if Julian had genuinely recovered or this was a mere facade. If there were unresolved issues, this could prove catastrophic when they resurfaced. Jenna feared her brother leaping from a building. Carefully observing Julian, she sensed that his breakdown had indeed dissipated, but his mind hadn't returned to its usual state. Yeah, no shit, his mom just died. How the f could he be in a normal state again in a day? God, Jenna, you're actually fucking dumb as a bag of bricks. Holy fuck. Observing Julian for a while, Julian prepared breakfast, moving with agility and skill. But during their conversation, he appeared wooden, rigid, and slow to react. This convinced Jenna that her brother had repressed not only his breakdown, but also his thoughts and his soul. I have to find a psychiatrist, Jenna thought. Before long, Julian finished toasting the bread and went to a nearby vendor to purchase a relatively fresh can of milk. As Jenna nibbled on her breakfast, she pretended to be indifferent and glanced at her brother. I couldn't sleep. I felt despondent last night. I went to see a psychiatrist. You don't seem any better. You want to come with me? After a brief pause, Julian simply replied, I need to job hunt. A wave of sorrow washed over Jenna once more. Her brother didn't question her pursuit of a psychiatrist. People in this neighborhood were reluctant to even visit a regular doctor, let alone a psychiatrist. Most of them were unaware of the profession of psychiatrist. Considering that a genuine psychiatrist may require an appointment, Jenna didn't press the matter. After some contemplation, she said, I think you should choose your employer and master carefully. It's normal to not find a job quickly. It may take a little bit. When the time comes, we will both have an income. We can settle the remaining debt quickly. I certainly can't do it alone. The income of a singer isn't exactly stable. I don't know when my popularity may wane. On the other hand, Jenna aimed to alleviate the pressure on her brother in advance so he wouldn't break down again due to the inability of finding a job. On the other, she emphasized his importance, assuring that she couldn't do it alone. By relying on his responsibility, she sought to fortify his will to live. Damn, that's so depressing. Jenna, who had never considered such things before, couldn't help but ponder them today. Having repeatedly studied Julien's condition, she watched her brother depart from the gathering spot on Quartier de Jardin Botanique. Her factories sought employees and gave opportunities. After a brief rest, Jenna left the home, feeling somewhat weary and making her way to Rue Saint-Hilaire. Her plan was to stroll leisurely towards Rue de Bleu Blanche. It was to coincide with Franca waking up, enabling her to persuade Franca to arrange an appointment with a psychiatrist. Lost in her thoughts, she passed an intersection as she swept her gaze across a vacant area. Member of Parliament Hugh Artois stresses impartial handling of Goodville chemical factory explosion. She caught a newspaper article on a nearby newsstand. Intrigued, Jenna stepped closer and picked up the newspaper. Newly elected Member of Parliament Hugh Artois believes that it is unjust to vilify factory owners simply based on accident. Nor should factory owners who generate numerous jobs and contribute to taxes face bankruptcy after enduring a mishap. Such circumstances would result in a surge of bankruptcies, heightened unemployment rate, a fresh wave of protests. Hugh has expressed his commitment to not forget the injured and deceased. He intends to establish a new public welfare fund to assist factory owners in covering a portion of the accident compensation, enabling the factories to continue operating. Those responsible for the accident will bear the weight of their sins through increased job creation and tax contributions. This motherfucker's not even trying to make capital owners sound good. He's like, the capital owners, they want people to die. They actually get some joy out of it. When they see them burning in the chemical factory, they say, ha ha, die, die, die. What the fuck, bro? Come on. He further stated his intent to propose a bill at the National Convention, fostering a more favorable environment for entrepreneurs. I love how earlier it was like, hey, the laws are really, biased to them. We should make it even more biased. We have like a 70-30 split right now. A 95-5 feels much more fair. At that moment, Jenna's shoulder quivered. She laughed as her body trembled. After a while, she set the newspaper down and resumed her journey. Unbeknownst to her, Jenna arrived at Rue Saint-Hilaire and the partially destroyed chemical factory. As she gazed at the battered metal tank, thoughts of her mother flooded her mind once again. She would always gravitate towards that iconic structure upon entering the factory. After a few minutes, through her blurred vision, Jenna spotted a familiar figure. It was a woman, donned in a worn-out dress. Hurry, let's make our way to Avenue de Marche. The Member of Parliament is hosting a condolence banquet. We may get something. Condolence banquet? Yes! Your mother was injured in the explosion too, don't you remember? We met in the ward. That Member of Parliament arrived at the hospital just half an hour ago. There'll be a condolence banquet. Hugh Artois? Yes, that's the name, the woman said. Half an hour later, they arrived at the khaki, four-storied building. Is there a chance Jenna just loses her fucking marbles and just tries to kill him? You wouldn't do that, right? Would she? Would she? Would I? Would you? I don't know. Many individuals dressed like popers were queued up for inspection, awaiting entry. Jenna, wearing a simple grayish-blue dress, let her hair fall naturally over her shoulders without any makeup. She joined the back of the line and made her way forward. If Jenna dies, I'm dropping the book. True! Ooth, yes, we can... Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We can drop the book together, okay? 15 minutes later, it was finally her turn. A woman in a dark blue uniform began the inspection, starting with Jenna's head and all the way to her boots. After confirming there was no dangerous items, the woman directed her to register and verify her identity before entering. The motel. Lumin cast his gaze at Franca once again. You're early yet again? I'm merely concerned that you and Jenna may outwardly agree, only to carry out an assassination on the Member of Parliament's secretary. Am I so reckless in your eyes? Lumin said. Yes. She even contemplated adding the word most, but when she recollected a folk of rage she had encountered, she felt that Lumion could be categorized as one. Breathing a sigh of relief, she continued, "Since you haven't acted impulsively, Jenna should be okay. I'll go visit her." Assessing if it requires any other attention. Just as Franca concluded her statement, hurried footsteps resounded from downstairs. Lumion and Franca, positioned by the doorway, turned their heads to look at Jenna, garbed in a simple grayish-blue dress. She sobbed, "My brother, he's gone insane. He's become a lunatic," she sobbed. All right. I think that's a good place to end it. You know, nothing pressing, nothing bad's gonna happen. We're gonna let Julian live for one more day. I don't think we want to kill him today. I mean, we can kill him if you guys want. Then we kill him sooner. Like, the little bitch is dying. We can kill him, but do you want him to die right now? I don't think so. I think we let him live. Can do one more. Okay, if we read one more. If we read one more and Julian dies, Sal owes me another donation. I don't know what he did here, but it's on him, okay? Can we all agree? If he doesn't, I don't know. You guys, we can do a whole next stream to figure out what I have to do, okay? I'll do something too. It's only fair. I'll do something too. The next one just 252 to 256. All right, sounds good. Jenna's brother's gone mad. Lumion's rage surged, not only because he was angry with the other party and thought his mental strength was too weak to crumble so easily, but he heard fate's mocking laughter. He noticed yesterday that Julian blamed himself for his mother's death and showed signs of withdrawing. That was far from madness. Even if he faced psychological issues in the future, they would be prolonged, not an instant breakdown. Unless something happened. Fucking fate. Franca shared the same surprise. She had warned Jenna to keep her eye on her brother, but she didn't expect Julian to lose his mind. As far as she knew, he was a resilient young man in good health. His emotions wouldn't be so easily triggered like this. Jenna had mentioned Julian's inclination towards extremism, but that was for the sake of the family. With his sister still alive, burdened with debt, and the need to become an underground singer, it was evident that Julian would persist and work hard. This led Franca to suspect that Julian had been agitated once again during the night. She had similar concerns about Jenna's mother's decision to kill herself, but refrained from mentioning it. Franca understood Elodie's feelings and choices, but suicide felt too hasty and impulsive. Before transmigrating, Franca had read many reports. She knew the torment of poverty, self-blame, and the burdening of oneself for the family debts. Fear of incapable of labor, and a pure, selfless love could drive an optimist into a desperate situation. However, such matters involved a period of internal struggle before things happened, and everyone had a will to live and would consider their loved ones. Franca speculated two possibilities. First, Jenna's mother must have been psychologically affected by her condition. Second, the explosion at the plant may have been part of the motive of the Member of Parliament, of Rhine, and others. The subsequent abnormal and widespread emotional fluctuations could be resulted because of those. What happened? Frank asked. Julian got fired, Jenna said, just because he didn't go to the factory. Who thinks of work when their mom died? After leaving the hospital, he went to his master to request time off, but they gave him a dismissal notice. Fuck, Franca cursed. Can't they just take some money? Are they fucking heartless? They said it needed to be requested in advance and can't be done after, Jenna said. Julian broke down this morning, cried like a child and blamed himself and expressed fear of losing his job. I waited until he was exhausted from crying and fell asleep before rushing over to find you. I went to Rue de Blue Blanche but found no one there, so I came here. Franca let out a sigh of relief. It doesn't seem too grave. Sounds more like a breakdown. Trust me, a genuine psychiatrist can help your brother completely. I'll get an appointment quickly. But this doesn't even make any sense. She was at the meeting. This has got to be some kind of trick. Who is this? As Franca spoke, she turned her head to the staircase. The anger in Lumian's heart intensified. Forgetting to request time off, getting tired on the very day he made the request, succumbing to new disturbances, and spiraling into madness. Fucking Termy Boris. Fucking inevitability. Let's pay a visit to the factory owner and your brother's master, Lumian said. Flag spikes? I don't think so. Okay, Jenna said. Lumian walked past her and followed Frank up the stairs. At that moment, the words of the psychiatrist, Madame Susie, echoed in his mind. Remind yourself not to overreact. When you feel a surge of emotion, take a deep breath and find your calm. Lumian took a deep breath, feeling a sense of alarm. He took a deep breath and feels a sense of alarm? Isn't it supposed to be calm? In the face of Jenna's brother's madness and fate's cruel taunts, he should be angered and protest. But he shouldn't allow his rage to consume him. Almost simultaneously behind Lumian, Jenna's resentful expression turned into a calm one, and she drew a brownish-green dagger. Called it! I fucking knew! Oh, don't fucking lie to me! I can fucking tell the difference! I know! That's not Jenna! Fucking called it! Oh, you trying to fucking trick me, bro? You fucking trick me? I think not, you trick-ass bitch! You can trick Uth, but not this guy! Fivehead, let's go! Okay. Resembling a blade fashioned from tree branches instead of metal, its surface was adorned with bark arranged in intricate patterns. With a swift motion, Jenna thrust the dagger into Lumian's back. Reacting quickly, Lumian twisted his body, narrowly avoiding a fatal blow. The dagger found purchase between his shoulder and back, drawing blood. Jenna leapt with agility while the crimson blood from Lumian's wound flowed profusely like a crimson fire. The bark on Jenna's brownish-green dagger seemed to come alive, absorbing the blood. And in that moment, the muscles in Jenna's face contorted, rendering her unrecognizable. In that instant, she transformed into an enchanting, ethereal girl. Lumian's pupils dilated as he recognized her. Charlotte Calvino, the leading actress of the theater, the Ancienne Caja Pigeon. I got that. I got it, Chris. I'm still here. I'm slower than I used to be, for sure. I'm also a lot more depressed than I normally am. But I'm here, and I still got most of my mental faculties. Amidst the thundering explosion, the door to room 207 crumbled, and the actress chuckled. You regained your senses quickly. I couldn't eliminate you directly, but it matters not. All we needed was your blood. On Avenue de Marche, outside the building that housed the Member of Parliament, Jenna stepped into the banquet hall with bewilderment. Before her eyes lay an array of exquisite desserts, dishes, and glasses. In one corner of the hall, a small symphony band played a soothing melody, accompanying the sparkling brilliance of a chandelier and the rays of sunlight pouring in through the windows. Amidst the crowd were individuals clad in brown jackets, linen shirts, nondescript attire, appearing rather out of place in such an opulent banquet. Opulent. These guys don't even know about the opulent villa of Earl Hall. Fucking catch a load of these fucking losers. Stood in the corner, their expressions vacant, while others regarded the luxurious items with resentment. Instinctively, Jenna retreated to a dim-lit corner, her expression impassive. She observed everything around her. Meanwhile, on the 4th floor of the Member of Parliament's office, Hugh Artois stood beside a window surveying the market district. Bonsoir. Why host a condolence banquet and invite these plebeians, Ryan said. It is the duty of a Member of Parliament. Before assuming another identity, I must fulfill my obligations. Before assuming another identity? These guys are poors. I'm talking about opulent. Don't use that fucking word. Assuming another identity. This has something to do with the fucking Jenna that showed up, but I don't know what. Furthermore, by offering condolences and assistance to the grieving, I will leave a lasting impression in them. They may yet become my loyal followers in the future. And when the time comes, the conversation will be even easier. Cassandra chuckled. They will only perceive the care and concern from a high-ranking figure satisfied by your promise. In their eyes, Bonsoir Member of Parliament is an esteemed figure they can only admire from afar. They dare not approach or question, let alone harbor suspicion, vent their anger or hate, Ryan said. As long as there is no organization among them, they will never dare to resist. This is so... Dude, this is so Russian propaganda-esque. It's like, oh, the bourgeoisie scheming. As long as the peasants do not organize, we will be able to rule them forever. Okay, bro. With these words, Hugh Artois turned his gaze towards the sunlit window and muttered, "Those under the mother tree of desire must have already commenced their actions, I presume." On Anarchy Street, just outside the motel, without a warning, the ground split and the center caved in, catching several vendors off guard as they tumbled into the abyss. A colossal, brownish-green tree sprang forth from the depths, its branches spreading in every direction. Stretching across multiple blocks, it ensnared the motel within its leafy embrace. The eloping couple, amidst their verbal sparring, found themselves once again engaged in their favorite pastime. Anthony Reed, the information broker, sought refuge beneath his rickety wooden table, trembling. Meanwhile, Pavard Neeson, the proprietor of the underground bar, reached for his sketchpad, downing a gulp of liquor as he sketched. The immense brownish-green tree continued to grow, unabated. Look at that. 6 chapters, hour and a half, pretty good timing, dare I say. See, I fucking knew it. I knew that wasn't Jenna. I'm good. I'm pretty fucking good, boys. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll call it there. Stream same time tomorrow. And then we'll keep going. Alright. I'll catch y'all later. Bye, boys.